Comment on this YouTube channel, Two Clean Johns. Whoever you are, you have been secretly dominating uploading Twitter Spaces.
Like that, hit subscribe for him.
All just be and play well in the fucking sandbox together. Look, let me give you an example. And I do not want to, I'm not dragging my friend into this, but it's just such a perfect example. My girl Roxy started a podcast called More to the Story. And if you haven't watched it, you should, because fucking Roxy is fucking amazing at what she does. That girl is talented as hell. And she's going to be a guest on my podcast, and I'm going to be a guest on hers. Her show is called More to the Story. Google how many shows are called More to the Story. There's like 11. And I know she's not dealing with the harassment that I'm dealing with and the accusations of thievery and stealing and whatever else. Like, what the fuck? And that's another reason. That's another reason why Homegirl did what she did, because she could lean into that narrative because she saw what was happening on my fucking page with this other podcast calling me a thief and blah 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 and stealing. I'm stealing. You even stole the concept. How can I steal the concept for your show? I'm not 20 something and I'm not white. What the fuck? And I'm not going to be talking about you dating in LA. What?
Wait. All right.
Go ahead.
I think having the same name is not the same as stealing a name, and people are kind of playing into that, oh, she's a thief or she's not a girl's girl aspect of it by kind of even alluding to that. Having, like you said, there's distinct differences, distinct things, and it's okay to play in the same sandbox, but saying that you're stealing something versus sharing the same fucking name is completely different. Hang it up.
Listen.
We got to
They
come
are
up with another word for stealing, by the way. We got to figure that out.
No, you know what? They need to understand what legal terms are. There is no theft here whatsoever. And by the way, if why the fuck didn't you guys get the TikTok? Why didn't you get the Twitter? Y'all left a whole lot of shit on the fucking table. Have you guys branded this in any way? Have you created any fucking merch? Don't even get me started on like the legal shit that I've already done the homework on, and it is available. Like, what are we talking about right now? What they're doing, they're acting like parasites looking for a fucking host, and that is me, and they're suckling from my fucking skin right now, which is my audience. They're getting all this attention because Reddit already posted this fucking chick's videos and shit like that. Oh shit, look at the tea. This ain't tea. This ain't tea. Stop feeding this shit, people. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
I'm late to this part. So white people are accusing.
Yeah, they made a whole. They made a whole.
White people cannot accuse black people of being creatively.
That part.
They
That
can't do
part.
that. That's not possible.
That part. But they do. They do.
They steal everything.
They
so.
do. They do. MAGA. They do. So
Mark
yeah.
Lamont Hill in the audience, bring him up. He'll talk about it, Joe. Let him up here, man.
Whoever's in the audience is enjoying the listening experience.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
What up, Mark?
Big Mark.
Joe, this adjusted space title.
Hilarious.
You get on my nerves.
Yo, I'm so conflicted. I feel good that the mess is not mine. I'm jealous that the mess is not mine.
So annoying.
I'm happy for Melyssa.
You still messy as fuck.
Technically, you started it because you were the one who
Did?
put it on pod first.
As a
Technically,
publicist, this is my Super Bowl. Like, I love discussing rollouts
Right?
and marketing and all this stuff. Like, it really does excite me, and it gives a lot of like learning opportunities. But I really do appreciate, like, there's some, I want to like break down this whole like Melyssa's response, because the way that you address certain things, the way that you're coming across as assertive, but also like genuine. This is exactly what we needed, girl.
But Mom, listen. Oh, go, keep going.
The last part is that I really, really was looking for a description of this podcast. I asked this like 2 days ago whenever you went live and stuff, and everyone was like, shut up, Dory. But honestly, I think that you gave like a good one, and I can't wait for all of those things to get ironed out so that you can kind of promote that as well.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys giving me the grace and the space to try to keep everything on track. Like, my team is working, like, when I say night and day, we are working night and day. And you know, all that my team did not want to address any of this. They didn't want to address the spaces last night. They didn't want to address these crazy white people.
I'm already knowing.
It's good for, like, they were like, Mel, these are ants. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're Moby fucking Dick. Like, don't address this shit. And I said, nah.
Well, Mel,
This
can you clear up for the people what you mean when you say your team? Because they think me and Ian are behind you, making you be messy.
Oh,
Mm.
no, no. Joe and Ian are like they're my consigliaries. You know what I'm saying? Like
That
I
did
built.
not help.
Them niggas
Uh,
can't spell that, Mel.
Yeah, we don't know that word. I know it.
You
That
seen The
didn't help.
Godfather, Joe?
Hey,
Don't do that.
Break it
Amani.
I
down,
don't
Nicole.
know. There was
Make
a
it
lot of
plain.
letters involved,
I
babe.
told you,
A
nigga. I
lot of
told you.
letters.
I told you.
Amani. That didn't
Listen.
help the case at
No,
all.
Honey,
no.
don't
I
come
told you.
now. You was supposed to come a second ago when Mel was clenching her jaw
No,
when we was
Levita,
talking about
Levita,
this shit.
Levita,
And you stood there quiet as
Levita.
fuck.
I said what I said. I'm gonna let y'all niggas have the fun. I've said what I've said behind scenes, and I'm not gonna say it up here. Y'all have your fun.
okay. Well, um, fuck. What was the question?
I was just
Oh. How do I address? Okay, the team.
Is
Um,
Joe on the
Joe.
team?
Okay, no, Joe and Ian. They are just like my rock and touchstone. Like if I have any questions about any, I know you guys. Just give me 1 second. Let me just get this out. When I have questions, they're just such a wealth of information that they make available. They make themselves available to me. And there's some things that like. Joe's naturally fucking combat. He's an agent of chaos. This is not my realm. So when shit like this is going on and I don't naturally operate in this energy and space, I need to confer with somebody who does operate in this space and has navigated this fucking energy for a very, very, very long time. Now, Ian is if they're the angel and the devil.
yo. Did
You
you
know what I'm
hear
saying?
my question?
Yes, I know. Listen, I'm getting to that. I'm explaining the role you guys play, but that it's not necessarily part of the team. I have a digital marketing team. They are based in Atlanta and they are incredible. And then I also have a producer who is like a bigwig over at iHeart. That's part of my team. I also have like, PR as well, just having just been brought on. Jesus, they don't know what they signed up for because
Yup.
I hope they're real good at crisis management. Well, I think I'm doing that right now. But so the team is like basically being constructed as we go along, and then it's just all of the resources that I've just have available to me just because of my cachet and relationships in this business. So, blogs reaching out to me or podcasts reaching out to me, that's just the cachet that I've built with people over the course of years and decades in this business, and that's just how it's going down.
All right, that's my last question for you.
Missy.
Melissa, will this team be a part of your ethos in terms of presenting them to your audience, or will they just remain in the background while you work things out?
Um, and also I need to mention my attorney because uh, uh, he's busy right now. Because that video is not okay. That is a very one-sided presentation of misrepresented facts, and that is a fucking problem as far as I'm concerned. It's a very, very serious legal fucking issue. So there's that. As for the team, no, they're background, and that's where they want to be. Like that's the role that they play. They're just like I'm forward facing, and they're just we're just getting everything together in terms of making sure that we have a tightly run ship, and that everything that a consumer of the podcast would want and need will be available to them, whether that is a newsletter, whether that is merchandise, whether that is additional content or content delivered on time. That's the role that the team is playing. And my role is to produce it and to be talent. That's my role, and to be the creative. That's my role. So everybody, I'm trying not to wear as many hats as I've worn in the past because I'm too old for that shit. I'm too old for that shit. I'm too seasoned for that shit. It's time for other people to pick up, the slack that I used to have to pick up for myself when
As
I
you
was
shouldn't. And I
still
said this
starting out.
earlier when talking about the rollout, because again, this is like my Super Bowl. I was like, Melyssa is not a marketer. Like
Mhm.
she has and should have people who are doing that thing. She should just be focusing on the content and making it fire as she has previously, because she's already proven that she can do this and does it well. The whole marketing stuff is all a team thing. And then that's when people will be like, "Well, what is Joe and Ian doing?" And I'm like, "Why do y'all think them niggas is magicians and a part of her team?" Like they
Yeah.
Yeah, we are not the concierge. I mean, consigli, whatever.
Almost.
Yeah, there's been speculation, of course, with your association, of which makes sense. Like people have questions, but the question was like, "Are you a part of the JBN?" And then people were like, "Oh, well, what is Ian gonna do?" And I know that on your live, you had even said like when booking people, you're like, "Oh, I should ask Ian," and I just was like, that could also, lead people to believe that they're a part of your team. But when you just outlined what your team does and what they're supposed to do, and that's that on that. Like as far as
Yeah.
this rollout and the promotion and all that stuff, you're not a marketer. You're Melyssa Ford.
Right.
Like,
And I didn't go to, I'm not, you're right. I'm not a marketer. That shit makes me itch. Like, no, I can't, that's not my job. I need somebody who knows how to market. That you're hired for that. You know what I'm saying? And also going back to the name, we talked, like, obviously I love and would love to be on JBN. It's a conversation for the near future, but not right now. Let me roll out. Let me show, prove the concept, and then we have discussions. And that is fine with me, Joe, and Ian. But I always felt like the Menopod was like an absolute fucking no for the JBN. Like what the fuck? Like the Menopod on Joe Budden Network? How does that work? But Hot and Bothered with Melyssa Ford, that makes a little bit more sense. That makes a lot more sense. And then in the future, the Melyssa Ford show on JBN, that makes sense. That was also something that I was like cognizant of the entire time when I was thinking about, putting out a podcast, so then that just, I wanted to do that callback, put back to the name and how much and how conflicted I was with it the entire time that this was happening. Hello?
nope,
Yeah.
I'm here.
We're
Okay.
still
Okay.
here.
I didn't know if we all got muted by Joe again.
No, 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 no. I'm not muting.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's it. That's basically it. That's basically it.
I love this. Oh my gosh. This is like, ooh, I could write a master class on this. This is
I
You
got one
could.
last question before I slide up out of here.
Okay.
Melyssa, as you continue in your career, what has this taught you about like the entitlement of create other maybe entry level creators, as well as
To leave
how do
them
you?
alone.
Okay, cool. I'll take that answer. And then
Yeah.
the second part of the question is, um, how do you not internalize like some of the entitlement of the fans, right? Of like, obviously we're always trying, like not we, but yeah, the collective we always want as much information and tea and mess as possible. You got some cats in the audience right now who are going to clip this up later. That's going
Mm-hmm.
to get views. How do
Mm-hmm.
you balance the reality of those expectations and entitlement, and not like, and take it as positive and not necessarily internalizing and get bitter or upset about it or annoyed by it?
Um, I just I just kind of fall back. Like I'm sure you guys noticed like that there was a point in time maybe like last year that I was way more active on Twitter than I have been. I picked it up within the last maybe week or two, but I went like a few months without tweeting or just kind of really being active and responsive and that sort of thing on Twitter. Same with Instagram. I will post and move. And I don't go into the comments. I don't really do a whole lot of engagement and response because like at certain times I determine I don't have the bandwidth for it. I just kind of got to live my own life and keep moving. And just social media really plays an extraordinarily small role in my life at the times that I don't have the bandwidth to deal with, like the fact that people do feel entitled to knowing things about me. This is painful for me. This whole thing is very painful for me to be having this kind of discussion because it is so far from the way that I have ever conducted myself and the way that I think. This is not my norm to have to answer questions about, a narrative that has been, constructed about me. I don't like this. This is very uncomfortable. But it had to be done. And, moving forward, if anybody ever does shit like this to me where they create a narrative that is false about me, I'm going to address it. I'm never ever just going to be like, all right, I'm just going to stay quiet and
Good for
and
you.
hope that it goes away. Nah, those fucking days are over.
We love this. Did
That's
you
amazing. I
consult
appreciate that.
your Melissa?
Thanks,
Did
Jack.
you consult your publicist before hopping on this space?
No, they're freaking out right now.
I knew it.
Yeah, they're in here and they're just
Sometimes you got to go a little AWOL, you know.
yeah, that is exactly it. I was like, they were like,
but only a little.
just a little. They were little, and they were like, "Ooh, ooh, dial it back, dial it back." I'm like, "No, fuck that."
But I will say, because at some points I was also like, I was about to come off mute and I was like, this is not my job. However, I will say that you, in terms of like messaging and stuff, I think that you got across the things that needed to get across, and you did it in a way that it was supposed to. So, as they are freaking out, I'm sure that there's lemonade to be made from this. So,
Well, the reality of the situation is that I'm telling the truth. Like, when you're telling the truth, you don't have to think about it. That's a fucking fact. When you're telling the truth, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to construct a narrative, and you don't have to fucking convince people, because you know what? If people want to stay committed to misunderstanding you, then they're going to do that. And you will never change those people's minds. And it's not my job to change people's minds. My job right now, what I owed myself, was to tell the truth, not my version of the truth, the fucking truth. You will not malign my character. You will not try to assassinate my fucking character and my reputation. Who are you? How fucking dare you? You know what I'm saying? That shit pisses me off. But that is why this was not. I'm not thinking about what I'm saying right now. Mouth blurt. That's what's happening right now. I am furious,
Mel,
and the truth
stop.
is
Uh,
the
uh,
truth is coming out.
all right. All right. I'm going to mute. I'm going to mute everyone. Mel, we can tell how you feel by how you enunciate your furthermore. Like, your furthermore is like, and furthermore is like, okay, girl. Um, I have one last question and I'm ending this space. And then I'm going to listen anonymously in a space that one of you guys start to recap this space. My question, Mel, is what do you do if people continue to try to put smut on your name or ruin your reputation? Like, is it something that you will continue to reply to, or at some point do you just, I said my piece and this is what it is?
Oh no, this is very much I said my piece. I don't have the time or the energy or the desire or the care to continue fighting with ugh,
Yeah, you know,
no.
there we go. And my last question
Okay.
is, are you happier or sadder that all this is happening while Flip is gone?
Oh my
My
god.
God.
I am so fucking happy. I'm so happy this is happening while he is
You
fucking
We're
you
gone.
do
happy
know
for
you're
you.
gonna have to relive this trauma when he gets back.
I oh my god. Yeah, just have a lot of Merlot
I
in
might
the
call out when Flip come back. I told y'all that.
Oh no you oh no you don't.
Yeah, I
Oh
might
no
call
you
out when
don't.
Flip
You
come.
are
Yeah, his energy is gonna be on 100,
oh
y'all.
Girl,
god.
listen,
No.
I
Just
miss
have
him.
a lot of wine at the pod, please.
I will. I will
You
do
know
that.
what, Mel? Have fun with it. We love you and we support you. And I hope you're having a good time with this. I hope it's not painful. I hope you're having so much fun because, like Buddy said before, this is the beginning and this is also supposed to be the best
Yeah.
time. So don't let this be the story of it. This is just par for the course when you're making a
I
podcast.
mean,
This
I
shit
I mean,
happens,
I do
bro.
have to say that the last when I started I'm here for the food, it was not this crazy, it was
But you were by
No, I
yourself.
wasn't. I had two other co-hosts. Yeah,
Mm,
and but I mean, like they played their position until they
exactly.
didn't.
I still can't believe this girl was trying to say that you're trying to be famous. That part
Hey,
just
hey, Joe,
mind-boggles me,
can we
man.
end the slide?
All right, ladies
All right,
and
let's circle back.
gentlemen,
Let's circle back. This has been a
this has been so much fun. Make some
Thank
noise
you,
for
Joe.
Absolutely.
M4. Hootie
thank you,
hoo!
Joe.
Hootie Who,
What a
Hootie
slide. Hootie
hoo!
hoo. Hootie
Potter of the
hoo.
month.
What?
She may
Wow.
be young,
Yeah,
but
she's trying to
she's
lock up October.
M4
She
nevertheless
is.
won. Big M4
She
nevertheless
is
won.
trying to lock up October. Mel, we
She's eating
can't.
y'all up already. I'm not gonna lie.
All
You got
right,
a good
Dory.
It's a
meat?
Enough
looser day out
Good
clipping.
here.
meat.
All right, I'm muting you now. Mel, enjoy your time in Atlanta. We always love and appreciate you coming up here and being spicy mayonnaise. That's great. I love that. And whoever is starting the recap room, I will be in the ANOMS.